Welcome to Baking with Brandon. Today we're going to be making a baseball cake. Time to get started. So now we're going to preheat the oven to 175 degrees Celsius or 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Then you're going to grease and flour your pans like I'm doing. Now let's get started baking. So the inside of the cake is going to be made of chocolate, and then we're going to put icing on top of it, and then we're going to put like the baseball stitches on top of the icing. So now let's get started making the chocolate part. Now in this bowl I'm going to put in 2 cups of sugar, 1 3/4 cup of flour, and 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking powder, and also 1 1/2 teaspoons of baking soda. So we're going to use both baking powder and baking soda. Then we're going to add 3/4 cup of cocoa powder and 1 teaspoon of salt. And you're going to mix that all really good until it's all one color. It could take a while though. Sometimes for me it takes a while. Then I'm going to put my electric mixer over there. I'm going to crack 1 egg in. And take out any shell that I see. And then I'm going to take the other egg and crack it in as well. If I see any extra shell, I'll take it out. So, after you put eggs in, you're going to put 1 cup of milk and 1/2 cup of vegetable oil. And then you're going to mix that with the electric mixer until well combined. And you're going to keep mixing until it's all one brown color. So, when yours looks one color and all like dark brown like mine's doing, we're going to stop beating. And you can clean off your beaters, unplug them, and then you're going to take a spatula, any kind, like a rubber spatula kind of like this, and you're going to fold in 1 cup of boiling water. Or if you don't have a kettle or you don't have like a pot to boil water, you could use 1 cup of strong brewed coffee. So, when yours looks dark brown, just like mine is, and there's no like white streak left, then it's done. When you are folding it, it should smell like hot chocolate. So then you're going to, it should be very, very liquidy. After you finish mixing, you're going to pour half the batter into one of the pans and half the batter into the other pan. And if you don't know what is half, just pour a little bit in here, a little bit in there until about half is in each, and they look about the same. So, and then you're going to put these pans into your oven and set a timer for about 30 to 35 minutes. After that, you'll know it's done when there's a toothpick inserted into the center of the cake and you take it out and the toothpick's clean. Then it's done. So, my cakes just came out of the oven and I know they're done because I took a toothpick, I put it in the center of the cake and it came out clean. I did the same with the other cake and it also came out clean. After your cakes come out and the toothpick inserted into them comes out clean, what you're going to do is you're going to take a rubber spatula and go around the outside with the rubber spatula so you make sure that the cake is not sticking to the outside of the pan. So, next what we're going to do is we are going to let the cakes cool for like 20 or so minutes, and then we're going to flip them out onto a plate so we can start trying to stack them up. Now it's time to flip the cakes. So, this cake I decided would be the top. So I'm going to put parchment paper down because we don't want the top of the cake sticking to the plate. It's okay if the bottom sticks because this is the bottom, so it's okay if it sticks because when we cut it, we'll just take it out. But if the top sticks, then we can't move the top on top of the bottom. So now it's time to flip. So 3, 2, 1, flip. And then you're gonna, oh. Yay! Then now the other one. And take it up. Ooh! Next we're going to ice it and stack it up. So, now it's time to make the icing. So, I'm going to start by putting 1 cup of butter in the bowl, and I'm going to try and cream it really nice. So, I'm going to mix for about 3 minutes or so, or until it's really light and fluffy. So, now that my butter is light and fluffy, I'm going to gradually beat in 4 cups of sugar, a little bit at a time. Beat 4 cups of confectioner's sugar, a small bit at a time. So, now I'm going to put in 3 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 1 at a time, and mix it well. Now you're going to add 2 tablespoons of milk, 1 at a time, because if you add too much milk in, then it'll be too loose and too liquidy, and it won't be stiff enough to hold on the cake. But if you put too little milk in, then it's going to be way too stiff. So if you put too little milk in, just add a bit more milk until it's the right consistency. But if you put too much milk in, then put in a bit more confectioner's sugar to try and make it stiffer. So, now I'm going to put icing in the middle of the cake. So, I'm going to ice around the middle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put icing in the middle of the cake. Then I'm going to put this cake on top of this one. So that means the icing is kind of like holding the 2 cakes together so they don't fall apart or slide off or anything. And also the icing tastes good. So like when you cut it in, there's an extra layer of icing there. So it does 2 things, the icing. Holds the cakes together and it makes it a little bit of kind of like a surprise inside. So, now that mine is iced in the middle, I'm going to take this top cake. I'm going to take the parchment off the bottom. I'm going to fold it up really carefully so it doesn't fall apart. Really carefully so it doesn't crack or anything. I'm going to flip it onto the top and push it down. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this buttercream and I'm going to put it on top of the cake. So, now that the cake has been iced all the way around, we're going to start the laces. So, as you can see, I've drawn out kind of like patterns, like, not patterns, but like already where the laces are going to be. Because I'm bad at freehanding things, so we're going to do it like this. Then I'm going to pipe on, I'm using some Rot's fob paste. I think it's German or something, but I got it here. So then you're gonna pipe like this. So I think the first one was pretty good. So now I'm gonna go in for the second one. So now I am doing like the stitches on the baseball. Ooh. Ooh. So So, if you look at the cake, I think the last ones I did were good, but the top ones I kind of messed up a bit. So I'm going to try and do the other ones with the same strategy I did the bottom ones, and hopefully this will look sort of kind of good. So, this is the final thing. It's all done. We did the second set of laces, and we did the second set of laces and we finished it. I think it came out really good. I like the white buttercream and the red laces and the chocolate inside. I think it's kind of like a flavor twist. Because you see white buttercream and you probably think it's going to be like a white cake. But then you cut it and then you see chocolate cake and you're surprised. And that was How to Make a Baseball Cake by Baking with Brandon. Bye!